Morning, everybody. Time for your morning fishing report. I'm on the beautiful, world-famous Salmon River in Pulaski, New York this morning. Long story, everybody. So I have both my jet skis on the trailer right at the moment, which I've been trying to get back off the trailer into the house and on the hoist so I can use them. And I didn't get it done last night when I got home from work because we had gnarly storms all evening. So I said, well, it was day 2 of the rain, and I said, okay, well, I gotta do something. I haven't fished, I didn't fish yesterday, I didn't fish Sunday because I got blown off or electrocuted off. So I'm like, I gotta go do something. And then I'm like, well, hey, 2 days of rain, there's gotta be some fresh water coming down the river. And there's already been a few kings come up, a trickle, 1 or 2, more than that, but I would think if there's been 100 fish come in the river already, I would think that was a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to hear a good report from Douglaston today. It's overcast, these fish will move. So I'm standing right now at the boat ramp at the ballpark. And I went from here and I walked upstream a ways around the bend and looked, there's some good pockets up there. But then I walked from here all the way down to the town pool. And I took my time. It was I got here a little after 6 in this spot. I was at 2A to start. I didn't see anything moving at first light. Got down here about 10 after 6. I think it's almost 8 now. And I walked this whole stretch. There are a few spots where it's deep enough that a fish could have got through there without showing on the surface and showing that big motorboat tail going up through. But most of the river, it's low enough, if there was any fish moving or scooting or if I'd kicked anything out of a pocket, I'd have seen it. I didn't see anything. Not that that's a huge surprise, but I had just as good a chance of kicking up, 1 or 20. And God forbid if there were some cohos in here today. You would have had a real shot with them. What I did today, I was going to bring this, I was going to bring that. I just brought one of my bass rods, one of my heavy bass rods with 10-pound braid, 10-pound fluorocarbon, and I was fishing a little 1/8 and a 1/16 ounce marabou jig. Hook was way too small for salmon, but it didn't matter. If I would have had one on, that would have been, wonderful on itself. I wasn't too concerned about everything else. The water's shallow enough that I still thought, even with the limitations, I would have been fine to get it to shore. I think. It didn't happen. But I was just twitching that marabou jig through the runs, especially the darker stuff that I saw. I thought maybe I'd find a smallmouth or maybe possibly a holdover stock trout. I didn't find either of those, which was a little surprising. Honestly, I thought I would catch a fish. So I walked from here all the way to the town pool. I stood on the bridge right in town, the short bridge, both sides, and watched, all the way down through the town pool, both pools, and then on the bend right there. And the bend is pretty skinny. I stood there for 15 minutes probably. I never heard or saw a splash or anything. So it's that time, and I could have come up here this morning and found something and been all to myself. There's nobody else around. It's a Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. It's a Tuesday morning in August. So nobody's out here really. Everybody's out in the lake trolling, and they haven't really come onto this end yet hard. They'll be sometime in the next week-ish or sooner. There'll be thousands of fish right off the mouth of the Salmon River, and anywhere's from 20 to 120 foot of water just waiting for that sign, waiting for this smell of the river water to get out there. It's an amazing biological fact of life that these fish do, whether they're here or on the West Coast, South America, or go to the ocean, doesn't matter. They're really so incredible. They get a bad rap. They get disrespected a lot, which is unnecessary. I'm not a disrespectful angler. At least, boy, I try not to be. And the salmon get a bad rap, and they've been treated poorly over the years. And I would love to see more positive energy put into the descriptions of these fish because they are amazing. Make no doubt about it. They're called king salmon for a reason. They're the king of freshwater game fish. They are big and strong and powerful and agile and all those things rolled into one. They are incredible. And even though Pacific salmon only spawn once in their life and they're gonna die anyway, and that used to be the mantra of everybody that snagged fish all these years, and I'm not getting on a soapbox, but these fish deserve the utmost respect. They're one of the highest skill level fish to catch, and I don't care where you're fishing them, open water or in a river. And man, are they fun, and they will test you as an angler, and I mean test you. No question about it. And so, that being said, salmon season really hasn't even got started yet, and there's a month and a half or 2 months of just insanity coming. But for those of you that have never been through a full salmon season, certainly like from my perspective, from the lake and then to the river, it's really an amazing progression that you do every year. Every year those fish come back and back and back, and every year the leaves change and all of the acorns on the oak trees along this river start falling, and it's an amazing time. And then the steelhead come in. It's world famous for a reason. It's a trophy fishery, lake and river, and all the tributaries on Lake Ontario, and all the Great Lakes for that matter. It's world class for a reason. It will test you as an angler. I highly encourage people to give it a shot if you haven't done it. And if you have done it before and maybe you've been jaded, come with a different mindset. Come with a different plan. Come with different expectations. Come with positivity and joy of trying to catch a giant fish. The majority, I have been in my career, like anybody else that has done this professionally for any amount of time, I have been a part of countless people's biggest fish. So whether they remember me or not, somebody will say, hey, what's your biggest fish you ever caught? Oh man, this time I was up with this guy up in Pulaski and we caught a huge, like, I'm that guy for a lot of people, just like all those guys that do this for a living are that way for thousands and thousands of people. Thousands of people credit their biggest fish of their lifetime, their PB, out of Lake Ontario and its tributaries, or the Great Lakes and its tributaries. It is an amazing thing we have here, and again, a lot of times it gets slighted and there's a lot of negativity around it. You guys know me, I am zero negativity. Zero. It's all positive. It's all positive. And anytime you can be in a position like this to catch a big fish is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So the 2022 salmon season is going to all be about positivity. And if anybody can hear my voice when you come up to the river, if you think that, if you have that in your mind, if you have, I'm going to go have fun and have a good time, and everything's positive and uplifting and yada, yada, yada. Boy, what an amazing chain of events that would start. Because if one guy on the river or in a run, and everybody knows what it's like at times up here, you know, there might be 30, 40, 50 guys in a spot, shoulder to shoulder. And if just one guy goes negative, everybody goes negative. So how about if you're that one guy that goes positive? Think everybody else will go positive? And what if they did? How wonderful. How wonderful if we did away with all those old stereotypes of the drunk, you know, rowdy fishermen and fighting and all that stuff. What if we just all went to, let's have a good time. Let's respect these fish. Let's really try to angle for them. Really. With intent to angle. With intent to let fish be fish. I want fish to do fishy things. Fishy things means biting, not hooking. All right, everybody. This is my morning. I didn't see a dang thing, but it was beautiful. I did see an osprey, beautiful osprey, sitting right down here on the bend, above on the big old dead limb looking out over. So he was fishing too. I didn't see him catch anything either. So, all right, everybody. Have a great day. Keep your tip up.